there?
I'm down there all I need to be.
Yes, but it's just a job to you. I'm talking about going down there and having some fun. Maybe with someone special. No dating for the Batman. It might cut into your brooding time.
1. Dating within the team always leads to disaster. 2. You're a princess from a society of immortal warriors. I'm a rich kid with issues.
The Incel. The Incel is a member of an online subculture of people who define themselves as unable to get a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one. At least that's defined by Wikipedia. Over the last 4 years, we have seen the increasing use of the term incel. It's mostly used to describe guys most of the time. And we have seen it because we have seen also a level of, let's say, a war or a conflict between the sexes, especially on social media over the past few years. People calling each other either misogynists or feminists, and who is more dominant than the other. But for me, what is the actual definition, or what I feel is the actual definition? Well, I'll define incels as men, mostly young men, who in their inability to get female admiration or attention follow a path of hatred or dislike towards women and the feminine nature. So when you mostly think of incels, you think of two particular type people. You think of somebody like this, and you might think of somebody like this. There are two divides, we want to say two extremes. For the sake of this video, I'll be discussing more on the hyper masculine side of the incel community. Most of the time they regard themselves as the red pill. The red pill, like referencing the Matrix movie where Morbius gives Neo the red pill and the blue pill. And the red pill is to represent the harsh reality of society. So now that you have a quick crash course on incels, what is their relationship with Batman? Over the years, the incel community has adopted symbols, which at first glance looked or seemed like just comedic memes, but have actually become a part that the incel ideology wishes to emulate. An example would be the Lord Future memes. Actually, I really used to love the memes. They were actually very funny and are still kind of funny. The Gigha Chad memes, the ones that represent something like the Sigma male type memes, the Thomas Shelby memes. He's been seen as a symbol of masculinity. And there's Patrick Bateman from the American Psycho. He has become really a symbol in this community. But for the sake of this video, we'll be talking about one guy, one character, one mythical character who has become a very important figure. And that is none other than our OG guy, the Batman.
The Batman.
Batman. The Batman is a well-known character. We all know him as the billionaire playboy by day and the Cape Crusader and vigilante by night. We are all familiar with his origin story, how his parents were killed in the dark alley, and he swears to bring justice to Gotham streets. Batman is a character that has been over the years seen as a human among gods and superpowered beings, driven by sheer determination and intellect and the willingness to achieve his fullest potential. Batman is seen as a stoic, unflinching character who has achieved total self-mastery, total self-control, total self-discipline, and a forever calculating mind. Batman is really valued among many young men. Batman is so cool. Even in the universe of Batman, Batman is cool. When raised as a name among heroes, it's seen with great power and respect. Even merely hearing his name is followed by fear and an act of caution. Lastly, we can't even deny the looks he gets from the women even in his own universe. Why do incels love him? In a world filled with so many superhero movies to watch, Batman's story seems to be the most relatable to men, especially to incels. When I mean Batman, I don't mean the Bruce Wayne facade. I mean the actual Batman identity. Incels, like I said, the hypermasculine side, have in a way begun to idolize this figure. They see themselves in the shoes of Batman. Like Batman, they have a soul-touching backstory filled with so much pain and anger and revenge, filled with more pain and disappointment. And like Batman, they seek to redeem themselves. They see themselves as unplanned victims of a hate crime that they do not deserve. They seeking to turn around the table, to see themselves better than how the world has decided to devalue them. Incels feel like their life has been stolen away from them, like how Bruce lost his parents. It's more to just feeling lack of female admiration. It's feeling of a lack of being valued, feeling of a lack of actually wondering if you actually matter in the world. That's what goes on in the mind of an incel. The lack of value, the powerlessness that Bruce experiences in that moment of grief as he mourns his parents is felt in the heart of these incels. This feeling of wondering, what am I in the world? No one to guide me. What many incels don't understand is how Batman is such a very flawed character. The incels see themselves as true newborns to a new redemptive path. And this path is not a bad path. They seek true knowledge, true self-growth, true self-mastery. They actually want to be better people. But many of these emotions are filled with more negative feelings. They actually feel so much rage and anger, so much guilt in their heart, much like Batman. But theirs is even worse in the sense that they demonize everyone around them. They demonize loved ones, they demonize friends, they demonize almost anyone that does not associate with what they feel is the right path. Selfish and entitled behavior, which is even much different from a Batman more moral and more loving and humble standpoint, is even very detrimental to themselves and the goals that they seek to actually even gain from this experience or this ideology. They constantly warmonger, and when I mean warmonger, they warmonger in their head. They don't allow themselves to feel. The birth of Batman for me is a constant raging war in the mind of Batman, or we could say Bruce Wayne. They relate to this, but they do not realize that this constant war of Batman is not just a mythical one, but an actual real thing that Batman has to tackle. They don't show how Batman solves this, and in reality, not everyone can survive this war of the mind. I know we seek to achieve greatness. I seek to achieve greatness. But what Batman is doing, an example would be the new Batman movie where Robert Pattinson plays Batman. You really watch the beginning. You notice how filled of rage he is. It's like all his decisions, though calculative, though intelligent, though very well planned out, are filled with only one thing: rage and optimal violence. He's just war hungry in a little way, and it's not allowing him be at peace. I feel the Batman character is not at peace with himself, and that is what a lot of incels are. They are not at peace with themselves. They've so much demonized everything around them. They see themselves as true victims. Trust me, you can earn all the stoic skills in the world, but you are still human.